Now, Gary, there must be thousands of South Africans with dual citizenship and who do what Paul O'Sullivan did numerous times. I mean, how exactly, explain to us just the sort of the dynamics then of leaving the country on a particular passport and coming back on a particular passport. I mean, why did he not then choose to leave on his South African passport and come back on the same?
Well, evidence will be led. Obviously, I believe he's going to be in court today. Well, whenever there's a trial, eventually a hearing, his side of the story will be told why, in fact, he chose to use his Irish passport whilst being a South African citizen. Did he use it to evade detection that he was leaving? Did he use it for some ulterior motive? Is his South African passport lost, mislaid, expired? I don't really know the facts, but certainly I suppose the Hawks know far more about why he made that decision than Mr. O'Sullivan is expressing in the media. I suppose he's been counseled to lead evidence in this particular regard.
Gary, if this is law around dual citizenship, why is it not enforced?
It's not really a provision around dual citizenship. There's a vast distinction between the principle of dual or multiple citizenships and the ability to use a foreign passport facility in entering South Africa or exiting South Africa or trying to evade an obligation whilst you are in South Africa. Citizenship and the utilization of a passport are two entirely different concepts. In this particular case, I suppose what the drafters, the framers of Section 26 also tried to accomplish, if a South African citizen utilizes a foreign passport to enter South Africa, that individual will be entered as a temporary resident, which plays havoc on the South African administrative computer system. What is that individual to the South African government? A foreigner entered as a temporary resident in terms of the Immigration Act, or as a citizen in terms of the South African Citizenship Act? It creates tremendous administrative confusion. If a South African citizen leaves South Africa on a foreign passport, there may be no visa endorsed into the passport document. So in effect, the South African citizen is declared an undesirable person in terms of the Immigration Act utilizing a foreign passport. Also, there's a tremendous divergence, almost irreparable divergence between a South African claiming to be a foreigner on a foreign passport, exiting South Africa with no immigration stamp in the passport, only to be declared an undesirable person as a foreigner. So it makes a mockery and a nonsense really out of the South African citizenship or immigration status of that individual. In order to avoid those kinds of administrative conflicts, the only possible mechanism the South African government saw fit to implement was 26B, where a South African citizen is under sanction of criminal punishment, only supposed to use a South African passport when traveling in and out of the country in order to prevent this on an administrative level. A South African citizen can't hide his or her identity by utilizing the passport of a foreign country. Therefore, you have the secondary obligation not to utilize a foreign passport to obviate an obligation that you may have in law whilst staying in South Africa.
And is this provision unique to South African law? Is it exercised throughout the world?
Some countries do have similar legislation, but because of our constitution, there seems to be an irreparable conflict between the constitutional promise that a South African citizen, irrespective of the passports he or she may have, is entitled to enter South Africa and to sojourn in South Africa wherever he or she may wish to. That provision may well be unconstitutional as applied in certain circumstances.
Great, Gary. Thank you for your insight.
Pleasure.
Cheers.